Alright, looks like my connection is holding steady, which is good. So first and foremost, good evening everybody. Second of all, let me say this right now and relatively quickly. If shit starts to lag, let me know basically immediately. I am in the middle of a fairly large thunderstorm system right now, so it's entirely possible that either I will lose power or some other shit will go down and... Well, okay, so theoretically if I lose power I will notice because I will be in the dark in this room, and that's going to be a little bit rough, but like if my internet connection starts to lag, that I may not notice, or my Twitch connection starts to lag, that I may not notice. But regardless, still gonna try to deal with this tonight, because I'm actually almost eager to have this game done with. Seems like Phoenix Wrong has been going on for far too long, and I know LG, speaking of hi LG, is looking forward to Sonic getting murdered.
I'd love to.
Alright, so let's get on with it. Last time, Dahlia's back, and that's quite frankly all I give a shit about. So let's see where this nonsense goes. Oh, also minor confession to make. Well, this is not my no left thumb challenge anymore. I am wearing the soft brace on my left hand. It's probably for the best. Alright. So we didn't even get a recess there, huh?
Nope,
Alright,
it
then.
just took a break.
Your brunette versus my redhead. Except she doesn't even have red hair this time, but... And Mia's dead, so... Alright, now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well... It seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony. I know Dahlia's dead, too. I just try not to think about it, because it's very sad. Actually, it's not that sad. The sadder thing is that Eeny, Meeny, and Meeny, Meeny are dead. ... I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. ... In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night, and probably failed. The plan! I usually have those and they go awry. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Misty Fey to install her own daughter as the next master. See, it is like I said last time, though. Morgan knows she's never going to be the master. Morgan doesn't give a shit about herself becoming the master. The only thing she cares about is Pearl becoming the master. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But for it to work, Mia Fey would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya, and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. Aha. So it's like one of those mission failed successfully things. Also, I completely missed what the judge said that Phoenix is objecting to with a hold it. Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Mia Fey? Yes, you have a problem with that? A little bit, yes. Actually. No, Pokey Delta. First of all, Morgan is in jail. Second of all, just because Maya dies doesn't necessarily mean Morgan would become the master. Morgan was already...
by traditional rules of succession, it would,
But Morgan had already been excluded as the master once, and her younger sister had become the master, ergo traditional rules of succession don't really mean shit here. I think the idea is once someone has been passed over for being the master, they don't get a second crack at it. Most likely. But actually, yes, I do have a bit of a problem with you trying to kill Maya. First of all, she's not the one you have a gripe against. And second of all, why the fuck is it always redheads versus little goblins with this game?
they know exactly how to torture you specifically.
Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that...
Watch yourself, trite.
I am wearing a watch, yes.
If you've got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules.
Mr. Godo is correct, and by the way, that's one of my rules as well, which you kind of implied by saying that Mr. Godo is correct. To kill Maya. Could it... No shit, it's true. Phoenix, you seem to have lost the brain cell you had for like half a second in the previous stream. Such is the fate of all characters in this game. Anyway, speaking of watches, did I tell you my watch battery died while I was in Grand Rapids?
You did not.
Yeah. I like this watch, too. I think I mentioned it's the engagement gift I got from my wife.
Yeah, I reckon so. That sounds familiar.
So I got to Grand Rapids on Tuesday. Woke up... The watch was perfectly fine. Woke up Wednesday, dead to the world. Like, just gone. Which makes sense. I mean, I thought about it. I had not gotten a battery replacement on this thing since my wife gave it to me. I don't remember if we technically got engaged in 2019 or 2020 or what, but it had been about 6 years. So
yeah,
6
that's
years...
not too bad.
The problem is, I was stuck in Grand Rapids, and I was also stuck at a show most of the day. Well, lo and behold, fate was really smiling on me because I got back to the hotel, and like less than a mile from the hotel was a jewelry store that was open late, specifically on Wednesdays. No other day of the week, but specifically on Wednesdays, they were open late. And for $5, I could get my watch battery replaced. So yeah, I went and did that. $5 is incredibly good of a price for that.
Yeah.
Didn't buy anything else, though. I feel slightly bad about it, but like I just took advantage of something that they said they do. Anyway, let's get to cross-examining and pushing more buttons because I feel a need to push all of Dahlia's buttons. Except for the kill button. I don't think we want her to kill anybody in court.
You know, again.
Oh yeah, she technically sort of did that once, didn't she?
Sure did.
Alright, press! You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. Well, that answers another question about how spirits remember how they died. I guess assuming they were awake for it. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk... you know Morgan's in jail. When did you talk with Morgan Fey? Last year. She was transferred to the same detention center as me. since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her. This makes sense. I see. So that's when you discussed So basically, Morgan Fey did that whole bullshit nonsense with Mimi Meanie last year. And that was well after Dahlia was in jail and on death row. So she had this whole frickin' plan. Like, she had an ace up her sleeve the whole fucking time.
Pretty much.
Fascinating. But since last week, I still keep my aces up my nose. Haha, are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fey the master of Kurain? She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan, huh? Yes, we know this. You're talking about Pearl Fey, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your
twin sister. You and your twin sister, Iris.
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Well, no, her father was actually the one that took them away, but sure. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You mean Iris? Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? Hang on a tick. I may have just heard something explode. I'll be right back, hopefully.
Well, let's hope that's not a problem.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm guessing you're doing
Me?
Ernie.
Yeah. Me thinks he might have heard something explode, so he's checking on that. Hopefully he did not hear something explode.
Gotcha. What's your availability this week, by the way, for more Ghost Trick, by the way?
Not 100% certain at the moment.
What about after tonight?
No, not tonight.
Gotcha. Because there is a direct tomorrow morning and I want to stay up a bit later so I can stay up for the direct without having to sleep through it, so... I'm just gonna try to pull an all-nighter. Anyway, now you have another gremlin.
Indeed.
I got through a few chapters on my own, by the way, LG.
Yep.
Got one of the challenge trophies.
Nice.
Also bought the investigations collection, so I'll do what Emmy refuses to do. Emmy's been gone for a while. That's not good.
Coming up on about 5 minutes.
Oh, that ain't good. So how you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad.
Same here. I don't know what else to add. So, how about them apples?
More into bananas myself.
I don't like bananas.
Nah.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Oh, buddy.
That classic joke. Look, Emmy's not here. I gotta do the puns.
Nobody has to do anything. I'm back.
Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
fantastic. We're starting
Also,
to get a
hi
little
back.
worried there. You were out for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
Also, hi back. I'm MCH.
Hi, MCH. I can see that you're here. That was a case of unfortunate / incredibly coincidental timing. I'm pretty sure what I heard was just a very loud and very close by clap of thunder, but at the same time the lights flickered, which means I'm pretty sure that our sump pump activated like literally right at the same time, because when that fucker activates, the lights sometimes flicker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, I did run around well, first of all, I'm in the basement, so if the basement starts to flood, I will be the first to know. But I
It's either you or the septic tanks.
There is no septic tank.
Okay, it's either you or you.
Yeah. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? The bigger problem was that the cats, who are normally pretty calm about this shit, were a little antsy, and I couldn't find Emma. And when Emma is missing, it usually means she gets somewhere that she wasn't supposed to be.
Yup.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, she was just cowering under one of the couches, but, like, she has gotten into ceilings and walls and shit before, and trapped herself in various closets.
Are you sure she's not a ghost cat?
There were holes in them. Like, she didn't just through, like, and the closet that she got herself trapped into is a sliding door, so she knows the door opened and then somehow couldn't get out.
Oops.
Anyway, everything's fine, that's the bottom line. Cats are calmer. Storm is moving a little bit past, so I don't think it's going to be too bad from here on out, he says. Hopefully. Anyway, sorry I wasn't here when you dropped in, MCH, but good to see you. How you been, buddy?
Good. I'm just waiting. I asked LG a question because I was playing the Ghost Trick Remaster with him last week, and I was wondering his availability after the stream.
There was a remaster? Oh, is that what I played was the remaster?
The original was on DS.
The original was on DS.
How the hell was I supposed to know? I never played it.
I mean, that's
fair enough.
What advertised it as a remaster.
Well, yeah, but how many masters have there been at this point?
All of the ones on PC, all the Ace Attorney games plus Ghost Trick are remastered. Because the original 3 Ace Attorney games were GBA, then remade for DS, then remastered for 3DS, and all other consoles after that.
Anyway, I meant that I was thinking more along the lines of Doctor Who masters, most of whom had beards, but that works too.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
It's my fault. My brain is scattershot tonight, but let's try to press on, shall we? Anyway, and on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. But how horrible! The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fey. I mean, technically we don't know who her theoretical second husband was, or if he was a husband to begin with. For all we know, it could have been her stubbornness that got her pregnant.
Oh, sub-pregnancy? What?
I don't know, man. This is a world with magical spiritual.
The first time in fiction.
I mean, right. This is a world with spiritual, magical powers. So, and yes, Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Pearl fell very far from Morgan, though.
Now that you finally got to play as Edgeworth, now will you be able to play investigations?
No! It was horrible. I never want to do it again.
I'll bribe you. I'll get you.
I had to get rip-roaring drunk after both of those streams.
So it was a good time.
No, I passed out. No, I did not actually do that, but I felt like doing it.
Seriously, though, I'm gonna get you to play investigations. Mark my words.
Over Edgeworth's dead body.
Good, because that doesn't happen.
Good, then I'll never have to play it. Alright, she was born...
I can't wait until the next game comes out and Edgeworth is a murder victim, so then you have to do it.
I would laugh. I would abso-fucking-lutely laugh.
They do reference investigations a couple times in Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. So you
I don't care.
Ignore them.
I can ignore whatever I want. Look, how long did I ignore canon for and claim that Phoenix Wright shoved a bullet in Von Karma's shoulder just to make Edgeworth not guilty? Yeah, I can ignore whatever the hell I want.
It's still like I'm gonna get you to play them. I don't even like Edgeworth much myself.
I think you have about as much. You have about as much chance of convincing me to play the investigations game as anybody has of convincing me to play Legend Z-A, which I have already said I'm not putting up for grabs in a charity event. That is off the table. I am that disinterested in Legend Z-A.
Why, though?
Because it's fucking Kalos, and Kalos is shit.
I don't agree. We've been over this.
We have. I played Y. I finally finished Y. The post-game almost made me want to vomit. So, yeah. Worst inclusion of Looker ever, including like his extremely minor cameo.
I heavily disagree there. Heavily disagree.
Including his very his minor cameo in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Just bad.
I think it's better than the better inclusion of Looker personally.
Nah. The guy befriends a little girl, basically adopts her as his child, and then abandons her.
No,
that's what happened.
Not what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
He never had the intent of adopting her in the first place.
He never what?
He never had the intent of adopting her in the first place. Plus,
that makes it even worse. He made her think he was adopting her.
I don't agree.
Bad. Just bad. And the worst part is he could have taken her with him. He abso-fucking-lutely could have. But I already hashed all this out in Pokemon Y in the finale. I'm glad to be back to Crystal. And I will never go back to Kalos again. Ever.
And I still will get you to play investigations, so...
Like I said, over Edgeworth's dead body.
I don't know what you even have against Edgeworth, because I can name actual reasons.
I don't want to play as him anymore. It's gross. Do you not see my times I want to kill lost his Edgeworth count? The fact that you can actually see the end of the... You know what? We can't see the end of that number anymore. I am increasing that count because this conversation has frustrated me that much. More 9s that are completely pointless because you can't see them.
but like, seriously, what are your reasons?
I just really don't like Edgeworth.
There's gotta be a reason. I have a reason.
Yes, I've gone over my reasons for hate. Well, okay, not hating at this point, but I've gone over my reasons why I think he's a shit character.
Okay,
And
I won't say he's a shit character. I will say I dislike him, though.
the biggest reason, or the biggest, like, okay. Disappeared for a year, let everybody think he committed suicide. Probably may have even intended to commit suicide and just chickened out or, lost his... Fine, I get it. Didn't necessarily want to come crawling back to his friends after leaving that note and admit that he had, like, whatever. Let's say I understand that too, even though I really don't. Finally comes back like it's the second fucking coming of Jesus goddamn Christ, and never apologized. Literally never apologized. Just kind of waltzed right in and assumed that everybody would forgive him, and the game glossed over it.
That's not my reason for disliking him. My reason comes from the same case, though.
But I've been over all of this before. What do you mean he's never technically lost a case? Lost as Edgeworth lost many cases. He lost all of his cases against Phoenix.
Well, part of that is...
Except the one which doesn't really count. Anyway, I figured out how Pearl was born with an abundance of spiritual power. It's just like Anakin Skywalker. She was conceived by the Force. Except in this case, it wasn't the actual Force, it was the Speed Force, which explains how she's so goddamn fast, as we established in the previous game.
Yeah, what Donna said. But anyways, as I was saying, I do have a reason for disliking Edgeworth. But even that, I still like the Investigations games.
To each their own. Investigations
Yeah.
and playing as that jackass? Not for me. Anyway, Morgan Fey heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. Wait, what do you mean both of her parents are of the Fey family? Do you mean to... Wait, would that mean that...
That's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler. That's just the theory.
I mean, that would technically mean, though, that some form of incest occurred somewhere.
Yeah, that's a fan theory that existed.
And we have never actually met any male Fays. Who have zero spiritual power, by the way.
Funny you mention that, because we'll get there in Spirit of Justice.
It's not that I mentioned that, it's that the game mentioned this. Okay, fine, the game fucking lies.
No. Spirit of Justice has a whole plot point about, like, males can't have spiritual power.
I'll get there when I get there, which at this rate's gonna be never.
Fair enough.
All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. Alright, finally, we're out of that particular cross-examination. For it to work, Mia Fey would have to die. This makes sense.
I'm gonna get going. Have a good night, Emmy.
Night, good night, MCH.
You almost called me LG!
I told you my brain is scattershot tonight.
I guess I'll stay a bit longer, just because that just kind of made me want to add a few nines to your times Emmy wants to kill Edgeworth joke.
If you say so. Why would Mia would have to die, but why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
Objection!
Objection! But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. I mean,
Not really.
No, I'm looking at Pokedelta's comment. Technically, we don't know how. Technically, we don't know how these things are or are not passed down because Morgan had little to no spiritual power, but Misty had a ton.
Also, like I said, it is a legitimate plot point in a later game that men cannot have spiritual power. Period.
Well, yes, biological men can't have periods. Period.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
I know. Sorry, that was also not exactly a... Well, that wasn't a couth joke, but since when do I make couth jokes?
Fair enough.
Anyway, but yeah, no, we literally do not know how spiritual power or spiritual whatever is passed on, inherited, or any of that nonsense. Like, we really don't. So, yeah, no, it could be that that maybe you get some of it from your dad's side, but likely not. Otherwise, I feel like Faze would have been trying, plus that may or may not have been a way to merge branch families back with the main family.
And then suddenly we come Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War.
I don't know what that is. I don't want to know what that is.
It's one of the darkest games in the series.
Given that the game is called Fire, I assume most of them are bright anyway.
No, they're not.
That's ridiculous! She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally, the life of Mia Fey as well. How could anyone do that? We don't know who is stronger, Maya or Mia, as far as spiritual power goes. We actually don't know that either. We don't.
Yeah. Emmy's right here.
Mia left the village because she wanted to figure out what happened to her mother. That's said multiple times in Game 1 and in this game. It wasn't necessarily a matter of succeeding as the master or not. Anyway, the idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. You suck, diddly-yuck! You?
True.
You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead and there's nothing any of you can do to me. True. Very true.
So, the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. Yes, absolutely identical, meaning hair color. Ooh, hold on a tick. Yeah, so the absolutely identical thing means one of them is very clearly dyeing their hair. I don't think... so I would think that that would mean... Since Dahlia is saying this... By the way, I'm still trying to get to the bottom of whether their natural hair color is red or black. I think this is irrefutable evidence that their natural hair color is red. What say you, LG?
Well, I would have guessed black simply because that's Morgan's.
We don't know what color hair their father had.
That is true.
And
Their
red hair...
half-sister had black hair, too.
Who had black hair?
The half-sister from case 4.
Well, that's not even a half-sister, right? That's an adopted sister or a stepsister, right? That was daughter via another marriage.
Exactly.
The wife's daughter from another... The second wife's daughter from another marriage.
Yeah, the daughter that
There's
was
no
already...
biological relation between Dahlia and...
Yeah. It's been forever since I played
What
these
was her
games.
name? I don't
Well,
even
at least
remember
the
what her
first
name
three.
was.
Valerie.
Valerie.
Yeah. It's been forever since I played this game, so...
But anyway, so, I mean, Pearl's hair is, like, brown, but the other thing that you have to remember is, as far as genetics go, red is recessive.
Right.
So it is possible for someone who has black hair to have the red hair gene and then pass it on. Just like, you know, blood type O is recessive, so someone with blood type A might actually be AO and be able to pass along blood type O.
This just reminds me of one of the most infamous plot twists in video game history for getting science wrong with Metal Gear Solid 1.
Regardless, so here's my point. We know for a fact that Dahlia had red hair when she and Phoenix were dating. Why? Because we saw that in case 1. We also know for a fact that Iris would have had red hair at the time as well, assuming that my theory there is correct, that she and Dahlia basically switched places, so that Iris was technically the one dating Phoenix. So with Dahlia saying that she and Iris look absolutely identical and no one can tell us apart, Dahlia would know if her sister's hair was normally black and she was and if her hair was normally black and she dyed it red. Right, Dahlia would know that there is in fact a way to tell the difference between them. Whereas if they both had red hair, and then maybe Iris started dyeing her hair after Dahlia was convicted, Dahlia would have no way of knowing that, because first of all, I doubt Iris ever went to visit her in jail.
Probably not.
And Dahlia would have never got out of jail. She was on death row. So I think this is absolute evidence that they are both natural redheads. Hooray, I win! What do I win? Oh right, I gotta deal with this redhead. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it.
And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
Makes sense to me. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on the Iris in the first place? That's not a tail to pin on a donkey. She's your twin sister, isn't she? Dahlia has literally said she doesn't give a shit about anyone except herself. Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You're the one who's wielded multiple weapons, probably including some kind of knife in this particular case. ... You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. Again, this statement here is mission failed successfully. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
Has failed successfully.
Something like that, yeah. Forgotten what Iris said about the kid. Yes, no, Iris was supposed to be involved in that. I didn't forget Pokey Delta. I was just taking the backstab thing literally. Alright, Press. You think the plan...
I'm going for realsies this time.
Alright, see you, MCH.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Got it right that time. God, I don't know what the fuck is the matter with my head tonight. Anyway, you think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Mia Fey is dead. No, I'm pretty sure Mia Fey is in the last place you would think to look. Okay, look. Phoenix has forgotten a lot of things. Phoenix forgets what happened like 5 seconds ago. Phoenix doesn't even remember any of this conversation. Now the title of Master will pass on to Pearl Fey. Objection! That's absurd. But Maya is just... She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're as fool... Yeah, no, because she's gonna say, no, I was fucking there, that's where you got me from. So if she was there, I would have killed her anyway, right? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my darling Feeny? I missed you too, Dahlia. Love you lots. Glad she recognizes Phoenix, though. That's a nice touch. That's real. Well, I guess his stupid spiky hair hasn't changed much. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've yeah, this really doesn't surprise me. See that? Look, Dahlia hasn't figured out that there is no body yet. I mean, first of all, when would Dahlia have had a chance to look around most of Hazakura Temple? Since being freed from the cell, or from wherever the fuck it was. Yeah, the inner temple. She was basically stuck in that room with Franziska all day. So she still potentially assumes Maya died, and there wouldn't be I mean, their body shouldn't be at the temple anymore anyway. But yeah, she is overlooking that teeny tiny detail that it was Misty Fey who died, not Mia Fey. At the same token, sort of same results. Ever since we met, I've despised you. Hands up all those surprised by this.
You cannot see, but my hand is not raised.
My hands are not raised either. I do have one of my feet in the air, though. It's very uncomfortable. I should probably put that down. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. ... I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid... She did say that, yes. I told you Phoenix forgot what happened 5 seconds ago. That wasn't even in, like, anything specifically cross-examined. That was flat out in her testimony. She called it a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Says the woman whose every single plan had no point other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Like, explain how this plan of Morgan's was any different than your scheme for the fake kidnapping, your scheme to kill Valerie Hawthorne, you killing Diego Armando, you hiding the evidence on Phoenix Wright and then trying to kill Phoenix Wright. What's the difference here? Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry that? Revenge, stupid. Why would you do it? To be fair, Pokey Delta, they might have killed each other, but at least it would have solved everybody else's problems. But yeah, why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? ... You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me, why? Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. Says the one of her daughters who turned out the most like her. I only act in my own self. Okay, technically Morgan isn't acting in her own self-interest. She's acting in... Not even real. I mean, she thinks she's acting in Pearl's
She's
self-interest.
acting in what she thinks is Pearl's best interest.
Yeah, because that's what's in her best interest. But again, Dahlia is the one of her daughters who turned out the most like her. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. I don't doubt that you literally get off on killing people. Though that would probably feel weird in another person's body. What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead. Do you understand why I would kill Mia Fey now, what my goal was? I'm guessing that I have to present Mia Fey here, because I think she's part of profiles. But I'm going to I'm going to press anyway. Hold it! Obviously, it's because you were helping more. No, Phoenix, you're a dum-dum. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan in her plan so she could accomplish her own goal for satisfaction after she's already dead? All I wanted to do was kill Mia Fey. It was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Yeah, see, now she explicitly says revenge. Yada, yada, yada. Revenge. Looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. Gotta keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. Alright. Last statement, and present Mia. You were hoping to get to Mia's bottom. Sort of. Also, side note, I see now why at the beginning of this series, you and Dawning were saying don't go there, when I suggested that Mia might have had... But to be fair, if the fandom is insisting some kind of incest occurred for Pearl to exist, it's not out of the realm of possibility? Anyway, I'm not going there anymore. I'm just presenting Mia Fey. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Mia Fey herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. So again, the question becomes, and this is something that she's really, really not thinking about. Whose body are you currently in? Or does she think she's still in Pearl's? But well, no. Because she knows that the plan went wrong, which means she knows Pearl never channeled her. Does she think she's in Misty's body? But no, she knows Misty's dead. So who the fuck's body does she think she's in?
I have no idea.
Pokey Delta, it's just petty revenge. It's as close as she'll ever get to defeating Mia. Given that
Plus, I feel like you're making a lot of assumptions about how the afterlife works.
That's also true. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You wanted to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey. I somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible...
You know this, dummy!
Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. Larry Butts? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Nobody loves Larry. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. Okay, yeah, look. Strictly speaking, yes, Pokey Delta. If she really wanted to torment Mia, and Mia can be aware of what's happening in the world when Mia is dead, making Maya's life as hard as possible would potentially be something. But given that you potentially only have a limited amount of time you can be around, like, okay, strictly speaking, I don't know how long a spirit can inhabit the body of the medium. I really don't. But I'd assume that it's not an entire lifetime. Like, we know that Dahlia's been in Maya's body for a couple of days now. You can't torment Maya for the rest of Maya's life if you can just be banished back to hell anytime.
Yeah, her presence doesn't exactly have the longevity required to give Maya any long-term problems.
Unless she were to do, like, okay, the only potential way that I can think of is, like, severely crippling or maiming Maya, like, not to the point of death. I don't know. I'm thinking about this too much because PokeDelta's thinking about this too much. I need a fucking throat lozenge. Something is wrong with the back of my throat. I hate to do this again, but I will be right back. I'm gonna grab myself a lozenge. I shouldn't be gone for quite as long this time, hopefully. No.
Hopefully not.
No hiding cats, and my internet's still stable, so I assume the storm has moved on. Fucking Christ, I'm gonna get nothing done at this rate. Alright. Let's buckle down and at least finish this segment of the trial today. Ah, no, I get it, Pokey Delta. If something resonates close to home with you, you're gonna think about it, or you're gonna be able to think about it and understand it more. Anyway, that would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason that I helped out with that woman's plans. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. ... As they say, well, Pokey Delta literally said this earlier. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree indeed. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless, and none of it fucking explains how Misty Fey ended up dead. Humph. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you there's not a thing you can do to me. Quite true. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon-warding hood. Then I picked up the staff.
That's another good point, actually. Does the hair color really matter if she's just putting on a hood, so the only thing that's really visible is her face anyway?
You can still sort of see the hair through the hood. And...
yeah, but like, in the middle of the night, it's gonna be hard enough that no sensible court would.
No, you're not
Except,
wrong.
oh, well, I think I saw her hair through the hood.
I think it would, but again, Dahlia said identical. Not identical except for hair color. Just flat out identical. Now, I get it, identical except for hair color is a little longer. But she didn't say nearly identical. She said identical. So... anyway, that's just the bottom line there. Anyway, then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. Yes, although I don't know why you're still calling her Elise du Nim. You should be calling her Misty Fey by this point, because it is well established to everyone in this courtroom that that is Misty Fey. So it was Misty Fey who channeled her after all. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Mia Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern, and she was crying? Why was she crying? Then I took it. Why was there a dagger in the storeroom? LG, explain.
I don't know, maybe it's a ceremonial thing?
What kind of ceremony would they do with a dagger?
Bloodletting?
You just need sharp nails for that.
Well, yes, but there's a process to these things. A ritual.
But I don't think that's involved with any Fey rituals that I'm aware of.
Oh, yes, and how many do you know of? Like 1, 2 at the most?
57 and a half.
Oh, well, damn. Well, I suppose I'll have to take your word on it then.
I have been very carefully researching redheads. Anyway, I still haven't figured out why the hell there's a dagger in the storeroom, but sure. And I love how her hair was red for like just a second. Like the rest of the red background faded. Her hair was red for like just a fraction of a second after that. No, Misty absolutely knew about the plan. This is for sure. Because Misty suddenly ended up back at Hazakura Temple after being gone for 17 years. Something, i.e., this plan, compelled her to come out of hiding and reveal who she was. So yeah, it was Misty who channeled Dahlia. Remember that it was 9:30 that Dahlia materialized, not 10 o'clock, which would have been the lights out bout. So Misty knew that it was supposed to happen at lights out, so she had to channel Dahlia earlier, so Pearl couldn't. I'm thinking Misty might have assumed that with her stronger power and more experience, she might have been able to control Dahlia better, but couldn't because Dahlia is just that. Like, I don't think there is a force stronger on this planet than redheads. Feisty, fiery redheads. I don't think that there is any force on this earth stronger than them.
Probably not.
So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? Dot 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 dot. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. Makes sense. What does that mean, no clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Mia Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it. Objection! That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic... It's because she'd just pick it up and eat it. Stabbing it with a plastic fork would be inefficient. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I also, if she thought that she had stabbed Maya, what did she think? Writing Maya in blood next to Maya's own dead body? Suicide. What?
Well, she thought that Maya had stabbed her.
I suppose. But again, this really does beg the question, whose body does she think she's in? That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Mia Fey with my own two hands. That's unfortunate, but also proves my point that you didn't, and I think she's literally in the last place you would expect, as evidenced by her black hair. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern, surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
But how did you wind up in there?
You know, Pokedelta, maybe she does think she's in Pearl's body. I don't think she would have ever... Well, no, because she was already in... No, she wasn't in jail by the time Pearl was born, but it's not like she'd ever been back to Fey or Kurain Village in, like, the last 8 or 9 years. She's got no reason to go there, so I guess she wouldn't know what Pearl looks like. But honestly, the clothes aren't nearly tight enough for her to be in Pearl's body. I still haven't figured out how Mia manages to squeeze into those clothes. And I mean literally squeeze, because I'm sure her boobs must be killing her when she's in that outfit.
Ghost magic.
Probably. I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Mia Fey was dead. I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew that I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
So are you, Godo. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
Brick
no,
lock
that-
stopped you, huh?
I came to that conclusion myself, Pokedelta. Yeah, because she didn't know you have to present evidence at it. I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Oh, this is Pearl throwing the gravy against the, against the scroll, isn't it? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. That does make sense, yes. That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. And we know Pearls went because she threw the gravy against that scroll. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy, see? Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed, and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Ah, yes, everybody's favorite cop, Detective Gumshoe. Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck! After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real IRS. She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was all right. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. Where did you get the other locks from?
I don't know, presumably they're around somewhere.
I would assume they're in the dresser somewhere. Anyway, I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan had succeeded? Misty Fey is dead, not Mia Fey, right? You do remember that this is for the trial of the murder of, well, technically Elise Dunim, who we proved was Misty Fey, but it's not for the trial of the murder of Mia Fey. I feel like we're all literally forgetting that right now. I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fey. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fey, the picture book author. What? Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? Yeah, I figured this out like a decade ago. Where have you all been? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Makes sense. Mia Fey. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And that is matricide. The sin of killing her own... Oh, I'm sure you would kill Morgan Fey in a heartbeat if you could. And you wouldn't give a fuck about it. Matricide. The sin of killing your own mattress. Because everybody needs a good night's sleep. Anyway, the sin of killing her own mother. Ugh. No way! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Mia Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Mia. Objection! Ridiculous! That's nonsense! Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? If you're talking about the fact that Mia is written upside down and in blood, you did that, and you would do anything to frame her of murder. If you're talking about the fact that nobody else was on that side of the bridge, because the bridge burned, well, that might be a slight problem. What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Mia Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Well, where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River!
Mia Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the... But again, explain who is channeling you right now. Like, seriously, Dahlia, riddle me that. That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So what do you have to say now, Feeny?
Cell phone noises.
What accent should this cell phone have? Scottish cell phone noises. Ring, 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 ring. It's that Scotch guard calling. Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone.
Sorry, that's my phone.
What kind of ringtone is that? The Scottish one, Phoenix. Scottish beep?
Godot here. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Scottish beep? Was it something important?
They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern.
Okay. That's great. What about Maya?
There was a woman in the cave.
Was it Mia Fey?
It was the accused, Sister Iris.
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that, and I told you before that I was the only one in the sacred cavern. What the fuck is the matter with you, you dumbass? So, what about Maya? Where is she? Right in front of you.
There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern.
No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. That's literally impossible, you stupid farfel muncher. It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sad. I mean, it still doesn't explain how the real Iris was there and waiting for the body to be swung across the bridge, because it was abso-fucking-lutely not happenstance that she was there. And yes, someone is afraid that Mia's going to kick his ass. And it would be well deserved. But no, everything is fine. Sadly, it appears that the killer of Elise Dunim, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Mia Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Mia Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. Not only can't it be, Phoenix, it contradicts evidence that's literally right in front of your face. You've seen Pearl, like, you have seen Pearl and Sister Bikini and Sister Iris since this bullshit began. Plus, they just found the real... Wouldn't it have been... Okay, here's something that would have been really, really fucking funny. I know they said that they don't have a ton of spirit power. What if Sister Iris had channeled Dahlia?
Who could tell?
Literally nobody. That would be the perfect crime. Because in this case, there always was the possibility of someone figuring out that there were two irises, which was kind of how we got here in the first fucking place. But if Iris herself had channeled Dahlia, There'd still only be one of them. But yeah, no, Misty was stabbed in the back. So that's, again, that's one piece of the puzzle we still haven't quite sussed out. But again, that part you can kind of gloss over by saying maybe the autopsy report wasn't wrong, but stabbing the body with a second knife, which was clearly done with the Shichishito, tampered with the wound enough that it's impossible to tell if the original stab was from the front or the back. The decidedly more conclusive evidence is who the fuck is channeling Dahlia currently.
Plus, anything could happen in a struggle that Dahlia herself admits that she has no memory of.
Correct. So, again, that's something. But I don't think that's the main thing that's telling me that Maya is still alive. The main thing that's telling, well, first of all, other than Maya being a main character, but the main thing that's telling me that Maya is still alive is literally nobody else that could channel Dahlia is currently channeling Dahlia. I know it. Phoenix should know it. I guess Dahlia herself wouldn't know it because Dahlia hasn't seen Pearl. But even so.
But
Anyway.
you know who does know it?
Godo?
Ha! Right. Have you ever heard of this
hold
one?
on, that's 17. I guess he thinks the trial is over.
Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem.
I heard that in Star Trek before. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godo?
According to the witness, Mia Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth?
Nope. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden.
Correct.
Which means that if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge.
And that means that she would have landed on the ground. That's right, that's where she jumped from.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there.
Correct, Godo. What?
Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trike. Just relax and think the whole thing again.
Court record. Map of bridge. Where is map of bridge? Where is map of bridge?
It's the temple map.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, no, see, inner temple side, lots of rocky ground splat going.
Yeah, I'm not going to force you to present this one, but I am going to read out Godot's lines if you present the wrong thing, because it's another very amusing bit of Godot knowing basically leading Phoenix by the nose.
Mm-hmm. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River. Well, Mr. Wright? Okay, go ahead.
The only one that should be thrown into a river is you. But then again, even if you did, you wouldn't reach the river, would you?
No, he'd fall in the river and only catch a cold. Ms. Hawthorne claims Ms. Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Jesus fuck, that's a big penalty. But yeah, it's the Hazakura Temple map. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. ... exclamation mark. Yes, Phoenix has also already been in the river, so he knows everything there is to know. He has become one with the Eagle River. ... exclamation mark. Just take a look at this overhead map. This was, by the way, I think another point in the fourth case of the game, where they were saying that, could have fallen off or could have run off or something from the other side of the... But yeah, no. I remember this. Anyway, as you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh, you're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo.
Huh. So you finally figured it out.
To be fair, okay, on this, he was one step ahead of me, because strictly speaking, I was just thinking about how she was still alive. I wasn't necessarily thinking about how to disprove that she had jumped off the bridge. But yeah, no, this makes perfect fucking sense. You. No. The order. You're just playing with me. Yes, dear, and I would love to continue doing so. Getting to your bottom is what I do best. Mia Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Jesus Christ, she really hasn't thought about this much, has she? Ms. Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Yeah, she did, like 2 seconds ago. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago, you idiot. Mia Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River.
Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities.
Yeah, Morgan didn't pass on much in the way of spirit power or brains to this one. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? Not so dead. Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. A wedgie? Shall I tell you, Ms. Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya is in the Inner Temple, in Hazakura Temple, in this very courtroom! There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. Maya pops out of a trapdoor. How did you know, Nick? That would have been almost funnier. Almost. What?
Mia Fey is here?
You say she's here in my courtroom? How did you know, Nick? That's not possible. Dahlia Hawthorne. I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. Who is channeling you right now? Okay, he's gonna say it a little bit differently, but at this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? What? Why that's obvious? It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? ... It could happen if someone... So... Okay. One thing I want to point out. For a series that deals a lot in contradictions and, you know, finding them and exploiting them and making sure that there is a major contradiction here. Do you know what that contradiction is?
I don't think so.
I recently rewatched, for some ungodly reason, the final case of Game 2. The Matt Scotchgard case.
Right.
And Mia Fey was being channeled by Pearl Fey to consult with Phoenix. But in the middle of that, Mia Fey pulled her away. Even though Mia was already being summoned.
Was she pulled away? Was she specifically pulled away?
I believe the terminology, and again, this was, I think, before my trip to Grand Rapids, but I believe the specific terminology was she felt herself being pulled away, yes. So, at the very least, you could make the assumption that, okay, right, maybe a spirit that's being channeled currently potentially has a choice of whether or not to jump hosts. But what that would imply is that the spirit can at least feel when they're being yanked by another or being attempted to be channeled by another medium. Dahlia has felt no such thing. But I'm pretty sure Maya pulled Mia away and out of Pearl. I am 99.9% sure that is a thing that happened. We don't know that Maya is stronger than Pearl. In fact, it's heavily implied that Maya is actually weaker than Pearl, because Pearl is able to channel Mia successfully at a much younger age than Maya was.
I don't know if age necessarily
It doesn't
means anything.
I mean, I believe it is basic. I mean, we also see Maya struggling with her spirit powers constantly, and basically having to be under extreme duress to even get them to work, which, to be fair, she was when she was kidnapped by Shelley D. Killer. But in general, Maya's spirit powers are significantly stronger. Maybe not than Misty, because Misty was the master for a damn good reason. But I think when it comes to spirit powers, it's established that Pearl is stronger than Maya. like Astro Dude says, Pearl is a channeling prodigy. She's also a channeling progeny, but so is everyone in the Fey clan that has the ability to channel spirits. Anyway, just my 2 cents and what I remember from Case 2-4. Someone called me before Pearl did. But who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime. But she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? So, here's a question. I mean, I'm guessing she doesn't actually have any weapons on her because she would have been checked by the... Like, she was in police custody overnight, and she would have presumably been in police custody when she was brought here. But, like, why doesn't she just stab the body she's currently in?
I don't know, psychological blocks?
Maybe. But if you can force the body you're in to kill someone else, that the person you're being channeled by wouldn't want to kill. Because there's no way in... First of all, there's no way in hell Misty would have wanted to kill Maya. There's also no way in hell Pearl would have wanted to kill Maya either. It's not that much of a...
Yeah, but I'm meaning, like, killing yourself is hard.
You don't have to tell me. But I suppose that it's true Dahlia doesn't want to die without seeing Maya die. I suppose it's more of an ego thing. I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? ... Ah! It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. It was someone who called you before she could. It's called my attorney's badge. No, it's called Godo, the guy who's standing right now. It's very clearly Maya.
Take that!
Take that. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility. Well, okay, you didn't account for the fact that you also saw a Sister Bikini. But yeah, there really is only one possibility left. Come on already. I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, you channeled yourself. Oh, sorry. The person channeling you right now must be Mia Fey. What? But how could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal.
You said that her goal was to kill Mia Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her, I'm very wrong, Snowy.
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
What would happen, apparently, is 3 little goblin knows best. And I said that before the 3rd one popped up. Oh, 4. Snowy's going Super Saiyan now. We've never had 4 before. Except, I think, during my fight against Queen Gibdo. Alright, LG, what we doing?
Okay, so... Upside down with no glasses.
Given.
Uh-huh. For some reason, all of the dialogue is going through Godot's phone at the moment.
I see.
So it all comes out with a weird Scottish accent.
I see.
And I'll hold on to the last one to make you present something funny.
As long as it doesn't give me an infinite penalty, or you give me sufficient warning so that I can save. Alright, and you'll let me know if any coffee shows up, right?
I will not, because I will be watching my transcript, as usual.
Oh, fair enough. Chat will have to tell me if any coffee gets animated into Godot's hands. He surprisingly did slow down after that 17th cup. Like, he blew through those 16 in the first part of this case. He's only had the one so far, which either means I'm going
He's realized his
asininely
mistake.
slow, or yeah, he's realized his mistake.
He's realized his mistake and is trying to ration himself. They're not animating it proper. They're not animating it because it'd be a lot of work, but his hands are actually shaking this whole time from the caffeine withdrawals.
I see. I believe it's, well, you said this line already, so... ... Could it be? Aye, could it be? It looks like you finally understand there, Your Honor. Well, I don't understand. What are you going on about there, you stupid peoples? The damn pieces of haggis. What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you, you stupid twit. And there's only one reason I can think of there. To protect herself from you, and to protect herself from devastation to unite all peoples within her nation. That being Scotland. Hang on. To protect herself from me there? Oh, I'm putting the Canadianisms in the Scottish accent, which is just weird. I should add Canadian judge's voice as another option.
Oh, you should. He was fun.
Aye, on the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing there, lassie. Killing Mia Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off because there was nowhere for her to run. So the problem became where would be the safest place to hide? I understand what you're saying there, laddie. It makes a whole lot of sense. You mean that's when she channeled me? But this idea, it is too smart for her to have thought of on her own there. It is too smart for her to have thought of on her own. She must have had help. All this time you thought you'd been channeled by yeah, that's Pearl's picture, so. All this time you thought you'd been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you this whole time, you daft woman. Nay. Don't say that, laddie. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne? Ooh. Leaning in real close, but damn, she looks angry.
He is pissed.
She's cute when she's angry. Wait, I think she's just cute. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little... This is probably not what it says, but I feel like it fits the Scottish accent. Was played for a fool by that little wench.
Not quite, but close enough.
I can almost tell that it starts with W. Dot. Mia Fey killed herself. Isn't that obvious?
Objection!
Objection. Scottish objection. Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. We established this already. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could... I can't read that word. That's a difficult one. First letter is D. Disappear?
Disappear!
The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. You're trying to trick me. Get revenge yourself for the fact that I played you for a fool all those years ago. Also, a stupid little girl like that, who has never been out in the real world. She can never come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Don't. Has it been 5 minutes yet?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, I can't see my watch when I don't have my glasses on and I've got my face right up against the computer. Oh, it was Whelp, wasn't it?
It was.
What is HR?
I have no idea.
Snowy, what were you referring to when you said, how was HR still alive? Or were you referring to Dahlia because you know she was sentenced to death? In which case, she's not alive, she's dead. Anyway, ... Well... Me, of course. Mia!
It's our girl!
Wow! Okay, I'm assuming that's the same expression that she had earlier. That is cute.
Yeah.
That is adorable. I wish she had her red hair with that expression. Wow, that is cute. Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So long that we're both dead. And yes, it's Return of the Queen.
No, it's true. It was you.
Yes. What do you want to bet she recognizes? Actually, I think we established in a previous case that she recognizes Godo.
Huh. You are something else.
But what are you doing here? Same thing as you. just chilling while being dead. And yeah, Dahlia will go nuclear being beaten by Mia even after she's dead. That hair. It's Pearl's, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple garden. He did, in fact, only allow Atmi's final testimony because of her. I remember this. He gave up almost instantly. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Mia Fey. Actually,
what do you want from me? I was stabbed!
Yes, lost consciousness because you were stabbed. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
You did?
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training. Who the fuck put her there? When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. I can't believe how she would have gotten from the garden to inside the inner temple while unconscious. Oh, wait. I'm a sleepwalker. I can believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear. And that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. I told you Iris couldn't have! Oh! Misty walked her daughter to safety. Yes, this makes sense. Probably?
The dying woman.
Yes. Don't you know, LG? Sometimes people can get super strength when their children are in danger. This is a documented thing.
That's true.
I sense a butt, and not Dahlia's butt, so get on with it.
Well, I'm mostly thinking, like, she would have had to be bleeding pretty bad, right?
Why do you think Godo had to clean up as much shit as he had to clean up?
Well, yes, but we know that Godo only dug up around the lantern. There was a bunch of snow that otherwise would have had to be dug up, but wasn't, and yet didn't have blood on it.
Well, remember what they established on the first part of the trial, right? When is the most blood expelled from the body? When the knife is removed.
That is true.
Oh! Also potentially true. Misty died when Dahlia lost consciousness, so it's possible Although, you'd think that Maya would have had to channel Misty herself. But it's possible that someone as powerful as Misty would have been able to possess a nearby unconscious body. That's a good line of thought, Pokey Delta. I like that better than my thought.
Hey?
Entirely probable. Anyway, so it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those two things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. But Pearls, yeah, she was determined enough to try again, just because she really doesn't understand that her mother is a manipulative bitch. Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's, instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Mother's first instinct is to protect her children, which is why Morgan's eldest children turn on her. That's not necessarily untrue. Also, saying that Phoenix saying that Dahlia's plan was a big failure. Misty Fey is still dead.
A woman still died. She didn't achieve what she wanted, but a woman still totally died.
A relative of Mia Fey still died. A direct blood relative of Mia Fey still died. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? But what do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. She still walked away with what, a $2 million diamond? Misty Fey's death wasn't Dahlia's objective. Dahlia's objective was simply revenge on Mia Fey. Ergo, I mean, I guess technically speaking, the original target was Maya. But Misty Fey should suffice enough. Because again, also a direct blood relative of Mia. And in point of fact, Mia's whole reason for leaving Kurain Temple was her mother. But I again, like, they're trying to make it sound like Dahlia was nothing but a failure the whole time. No, she still made off with a $2 million diamond. And succeeded with that. She still got away with the murder of Valerie Hawthorne. She still allegedly killed Godo. Or Diego Armando. The only thing that specifically failed was when she killed Doug Swallows. That's what got her in jail. Anyway, they all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago, The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You made it out with the diamond. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... No buts! Not even Larry butts. After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, you're kind of also glossing over the poisoning of Diego Armando. But anyway, you tried to kill me. And yet here I am in front of you, as stupid as ever. ... exclamation mark. Well, I'm still alive, but just as stupid as ever. You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. Oh! Phoenix, I get it. I get it. And Phoenix actually cottoned on very quickly to what Mia was trying to do, which is very smart. Okay, they realize that what they're saying is technically half-truths. But they are trying to bruise her ego, which is the only way to punish her after she's dead. And now this. You've messed up again. Not only did you let Mia Fey escape, you literally let her hide in plain sight. Yeah. Even though she was right there, well, not technically in front of you, but literally right there. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. You spinster. I was supposed to kill Mia Fey like I swore I would. Oh, I mean, I guess technically in front of her in the garden, yeah, but also this whole time, she could have just taken a knife and stabbed herself. And that would have killed Maya. And if only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. ... True. ... exclamation mark. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. Grrr, grrr, grrr. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, lives on forever. Dahlia wanted the joy of watching Maya die and knowing you. I mean, I guess that is true. Although, to be fair, all she would have had to do to see Mia die if she knew me... all she would have had to do to see Maya die if she knew Maya was channeling her was stand in front of a mirror and stab herself. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. ... exclamation mark. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. The cute and adorable redhead. Oh! Quagsire Joe, have I got something to tell you? I caught my sixth and final team member in Pokemon Crystal version. It was a Wooper. And it is now a Quagsire. And it is named Joe. That's a female, so it's J-O, not J-O-E. But it's still Quagsire Joe. That is 'cause of you. Also, as far as how it's going quite well. I am one step closer to potentially going to IREX in December. And I may potentially have an answer this week. So, my boss is excellent. Like, I think I already told you that he went to bat for me and got the national sales manager on board. I found out today. Not only did he do that on Friday, he actually stayed late on Friday to get a hold of the head admin of the American branch of the company, who is the next person he needed, to talk to her and get her on board as well. So now the only person that needs to be brought on board, and again, this is the one that really is sink or swim, the company president himself. But I think with the national sales manager and the company head admin, plus the two other Japanese coworkers, plus my boss, all advocating for it, and the logistical issues that they said that they were thinking being basically non-existent. The fact that the company president was actually thinking about it in the first place, again, instead of 2 years ago just dismissing the idea out of hand, I think it's a very good sign. And I believe that the national sales manager was going to talk to the company president tonight. So, here's hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, because that sounds like a really great opportunity, and it would be awesome if you got to do it.
Yes. Not just because Japan and Tokyo, but literally because it is the largest robotics and automation trade show in the world.
Oh yeah, like, even just from that respect, it'd be huge for your career if nothing else.
Yeah, and it would be extremely helpful for the company that I work for. They need English speakers at this booth because apparently nobody at the Japanese branch speaks English so very well. Then again, I'm not speaking English very well tonight.
We could have predicted.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's good news. But alright. So for the rest of eternity, she'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a drop-dead gorgeous redhead. I mean, that's not a bad fate. I'm glad that the news brings a smile to your quaggy face, Joe. Both the fact that I've got a Quagsire named Joe and that I might be going to Tokyo in December, which is exciting. Anyway, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You. Ooh. Yeah, so Joe is asking how you're doing, LG. Let's leave the camera shaking and Dahlia looking very angry for a second here for you to answer the question.
I'm doing pretty well. That nothing really significant happening at the moment, but like, pretty good, all things considered.
I mean, they're not working you to death anymore.
Well, yeah, that's a plus.
You're wrong. I think she broke her. It can't be. Uh-oh. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters.
Just standing off to the side watching the girls fight. Sipping his coffee.
No, he absolutely respects Mia enough to not get in her way. Also, he fucking hates Dahlia also. So this has to be... Like, this has to be cathartic for him, too. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Tut, tut, tut. Uh-oh. Oh, God, what is this? Oh, my God. That is adorable. Look at that red hair. I'm not ready to go. Oh, hey, the giant number 9. No! God damn it, she's gone. But she was too cute to die. Also, hi, Maya.
Damn, that looked cool as fuck,
Nick,
actually.
Sis. I know that was a Magatama. I will forever call it a giant number 9. Now then. I assume you are the real Iris. Nope, this is Dahlia again. I would laugh. Just like an endless procession of Dahlias pretending to be Iris. I assume you are the real Iris. Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godo, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Fey...
And believe me, I know a thing or two about coming and going from hell. Remember, of course, that I myself came back from hell to face Phoenix Wright.
Without a face.
Of course.
I mean, yes, we still haven't technically figured out who killed Misty Fey. Like, we ain't done here yet.
Oh, you've still got like half a scroll bar to go, my friend.
Lovely. Well, I know that this goes for a third part. I would have assumed that we'd end the part somewhere around here, but sure. Anyway, it seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Mia Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. Now we must move on to the tragedy of Large Valley. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. I'm attempt to channel that spirit again! Now, how should I go about doing this? LG, any thoughts?
I'd prefer it if you didn't.
You would, but I kinda want to. She's cute.
And murderous.
She can be
She'd
reasoned
kill
with.
your goblin.
Oh, that is a minor problem, isn't it? Well, not if you didn't know where Maya was going to be.
I mean, I suppose not, but at that point it wouldn't really be ethical to summon her with no enrichment.
What do you mean, no enrichment?
Well, if the only thing she's really interested in is killing Mia Fey...
She can be fixed. Also, I'm hearing the thunder again. It's not as loud as it was that one time, but I'm definitely hearing the thunder. Pokey Delta, you're assuming that I was on a rocker to begin with. I'm on a spinny office chair. Whee! Ow. Whee! Wait, my slippers fell off. Damn it! Anyway, she can be fixed. I'm sure she can. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Dude, I just had a fucking demonic spirit show up in the middle of nowhere in my fucking courtroom. Even I can't deny it at this point.
Did you see that shit? That was scary!
That was adorable! ... Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Kurain channeling tech. Oh hey, that's why the Occult magazine was still in my evidence, in my court record. The judge was reading it. Good for you, Judge. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Kurain channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult that was mine? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. Words of wisdom from the judge for like once in his life. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection! You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor.
Number 18. Well, somebody lies.
We're going into overtime!
This isn't overtime, it's the same case. You are not allowed an 18th cup of coffee. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godo? his trial. It isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Alright, damn you, Phoenix. You're an idiot.
Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony?
No, because I was updating my counts. Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... Yeah, I still haven't figured out where the fuck that dagger came from or what it was doing in the goddamn storeroom. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. You fell on your own knife. Case closed, end of story. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya. She was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right.
The person who was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Dunim. No, Misty Fey. But...
About time someone actually decides to call her that.
But... who killed her?
You.
We still don't know who did it.
You did it. This isn't over?
Till someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. Guilty until someone else is proven guilty. That's how the legal system works.
Apparently here that is how that works, yes. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The
Is it the
mystery
Scooby Gang?
who killed Misty Fey.
Do I finally get the Scooby-Doo Ace Attorney crossover that I wanted?
You wish, buddy.
I kinda do, yes. You can't tell me that wouldn't be hilarious. I mean, the Scooby-Doo Batman crossover was really fucking funny. Indeed. ... Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? ...
Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney.
They recognize each other, and they're still fucking flirting. And I think she figured out that he killed Misty Fey, and she's still flirting with her. They're still flirting with him. And yes, it is cruel putting a traumatized person on the stand. It wouldn't be the first time. And I'm sure it won't be the last time.
At least I am not extorting her into giving up her constitutional right.
Blackmailing, not extorting. But yes. That's another reason I don't like him, by the way. Very well, then. Who is this final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There's
You?
one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
You? Someone who saw the murder take place?
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes.
I mean, you would think that she'd want to see justice for the death of her mother. Also, it wasn't when her mother was killed, it was technically Dahlia's body that she saw being stabbed, not her mother's. And by the time her mother presumably transformed back into her mother, she was unconscious. Especially if your theory is correct, Pokey Delta. You. You mean Maya? Hasn't the little goblin been through enough? We need to make sure she's fed too, because I don't think she's eaten in a while. You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through.
We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Mia Fey to the witness stand.
I say let her eat first. Witness stand later, otherwise she might eat the witness stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Ms. Fey to recover before summoning her. No, don't summon her. That was the whole problem in the first place. Once you receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Trite. I've got something to say to you. So listen up.
I'm gonna listen down instead, and to that end, let's see if I can flip myself upside down so that my head is against the ground and my feet are up on the back of the... No, I can't do that. I don't have enough room. Assume that I'm doing that, though, and listening down instead of up. Take that as my line.
I don't think much of you as a lawyer.
I don't think you think
much. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save.
Dahlia? Dahlia's coming back?
Please, right. I said beautiful woman.
Dahlia is absolutely beautiful. But as we all know, beauty
you're even more deluded than I thought.
As we all know, beauty is basically just skin deep. Anyway, you do have a lot of nerve.
But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
Make me! That's enough. This court is now in recess. And yes, I know Mia always comes in and bails Phoenix's ass out. Hi, Iris. You need a hug. You also probably need several hugs and or a very long hug to keep you warm because you were trapped in that below freezing cave for a while. Do you need a blanket or something? Also, yeah, I'm not going to deny that Mia is also beautiful. I just also happen to find Dahlia beautiful. And Iris. Because it would be kind of weird if I found one beautiful and the other not beautiful. I'll take Iris's personality over Dahlia's, though. But again, if Iris is proof of anything, it is that Dahlia can be fixed. Anyway, I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. What doesn't make sense to me is why Iris didn't, unless she was out cold, which, to be fair, Dahlia probably knocked her out. But, like, I'm still not 100%. She must have woken up at some point between that and whatever, but Pokey Delta, I know full well. I'm just joking. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Dr. Gregory House actually fixes a psychopath. So it's not impossible. Like, he actually fixes a psychopath. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help yesterday at the sacred, or if you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. ... My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either. I mean, you were abandoned by both your mother and your father, and you turned out okay. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. See? Even Iris says she could have been fixed. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up... That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people, you must mean, yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder... Which murder? The person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunin. Was it really you? ... Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Scottish beep. I get a feeling this is your line, LG.
It's unclear.
I know, they're being deliberately obtuse about it, but, like, if my... If my...
Hold on. I'll do the voice changer voice. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away.
I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But the path to the inner temple was cut off. Sorry, the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. Scottish beep.
You can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it?
It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body, so so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. Okay, so that clears that up. Which means that I think that the actual murderer's blood is going to be on that dagger. Cold does also slow blood loss too, so that probably helped them as well. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Fey. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shichishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Who was on the phone with you? See? Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer. ... I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. Godo specifically said that no beautiful women can help you solve this case. God damn it, you're right! Victim staff updated in the court record. Has a sword hidden inside the actual weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant? Yes? The judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in your...
Yep, that's what it says.
Is Dahlia back? Is that why she would see herself? I thought he just said don't summon her again.
Nah, he just has a big mirror in his office.
Oh, that makes sense. The judge is calling you. He wants you to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. That is why he wants you to see you, so that you can think about Dahlia Hawthorne. All right. ... Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to Oh! LG, what do we think she wants to tell him?
Oh, it could be anything.
That she's really Dahlia. I would almost love if there was just a parade of fake irises. But no, that would make an already long case go even longer. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me, and she's blushing and looking cute while she says it. See you later, Iris. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer and won't give him up even now. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Hi, Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. Little Goblin will need lots of hugs and to be taken care of after this case is done. ... exclamation mark. You don't mean... She's learned who Elise Dunim really was. Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. God damn it! Godo's word is fucking basically law.
You're doing it on your own this time, Trite.
No beautiful woman's gonna... Dahlia, will you help me? Shut the fuck up, Phoenix. I hate you. Okay, to be fair, Pokey Delta, the reason that it looks like Mia is half-dressed is because those are technically an 8-year-old's clothes, and I am surprised that they fit her as well as they do. Or a 9-year-old's clothes, I suppose, technically, at this point, but, like, realistically, she should be completely popping out of those clothes. The trial is about to restart. The real killer, do you know who it is yet? Yes! Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. No shit, it was on fire! That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. ... That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Fey? Wherever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself. Because Godo's word is law, and the beautiful women are all refusing to help me. Which makes me very sad, but it's alright, I had this case cracked from, well, for a while now. To be continued. Yeah, we'll save progress to this point. And we'll keep going, because I got another hour, right? Although this does probably mean next week's stream is going to be short. Unless I breeze through this now, which I'm me, so no.
It's not impossible.
Alright, now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce... Oh, good, going to announce the results...
No, I don't think it's happening. There's, like, at least 4 cross-examinations. I don't think this is happening tonight.
Wonderful. Alright, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, of course, on the bloody dagger that was found... Phoenix, this is gonna be good. on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about that. Phoenix, you dolt! Phoenix, you absolute buffoon of a buffoon of a buffoon of a buffoon.
That trait is the weapon that Mia Fey used when she fought with the victim.
So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. That means that it's most likely not the Mia Fey's blood either. Because mother and daughter would have presumably very similar, well, they would have similar DNA.
Approximately a 50% similarity.
Yeah, so most likely not her. Look, this is going right back to what I said, and the reason that they had to be clear, or more accurately, unclear on whose blood it was because if they fucking said it was Godo's blood, that would have spoiled the end game. Also, Godo's blood is mostly coffee. You'd think that they would have noticed that almost immediately. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updated in the court record. I mean, children don't always share their mother's blood type. My brother has my mom's blood type. My sister does not, and I have no clue what the... Well, okay, I know that my blood can be one of two types, I just don't know which it actually is. For all of my own blood that I end up spilling and getting all over the place, I don't actually know what type my blood is. Anyway, dagger. Found stuck in a pine tree in the inner temple garden, the blood doesn't match the victim's. I'm sure both the defense and prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor.
From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So, let's finish this quickly.
Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. Hi, little goblin.
Witness, please tell us your name and profession.
Mia Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Not spirit medium in training. Not master of the Kurain channeling technique. Well, yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to acknowledge that bit, because her mother just died. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Kurain channeling technique. ... I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it. Poor little goblin. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Ms. Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment of Ms. Elise Dunim's murder. Is this correct? ... I didn't see anything.
Objection! Straighten up this instant, young lady.
Weren't you just the one who was saying we need to go easy on her?
No, I said we needed to go quickly.
Because she's very physically weak. Huh?
Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But I...
Your mother was killed right in front of your eye. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. ...
exclamation mark.
But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Well, Pokey Delta is right. Maya not wanting to have anything to do with the Fey clan anymore means Morgan's going to be fucking victorious. After all that bullshit and scheming, she doesn't actually succeed in killing Maya, but at least she succeeds in getting Maya to want to nope the fuck out of the clan. But yeah, no, Godo, you're being a jackass. Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. At the inner temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone.
Maya's not on trial. She's a witness. Surprise. Look, I get it.
I mean, suspicion was kind of thrown on her for a bit.
For a bit. But she's not actually on trial. And yes, hi, Normans. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. At the inner temple, yes. Part of me doesn't want to press everything because Maya's so weak, but I have to press everything because it is my way. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. On the day after the incident, Losses Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused, probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Oh, it's Curse Me Kilts time again. Apparently, people really like the Scottish accent tonight. Aye, hold it there, lassie. Who did it? Who hit yous? Well, I dunna know. I dunna see who it was. I was hit from behind. You dunna see the person. That's ridiculous, lassie. But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was there, lassie? Oh, let me think for a second there. I'm sorry, I just cannot remember. Maya's having a really hard time. What should I do? I'ma leave her alone. She's been through enough for now. Considering the conditions at the crime scene, it's not surprising that she didn't see her attacker.
Huh. So it looks like even you've got some compassion.
Aye. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Misty aka otherwise known as Dahlia Hawthorne. We could bring her in for testimony if we need some more testimony. I'm pretty sure there's at least one or two other spirit mediums hanging around that we can have channel her. Aye, but that's no good, because Maya's right there, so she'll probably try to kill her again. Very well, please continue with your testimony, witness. What happened after you were struck on the head? Alright, press. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. Aye, there were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind? My name is Mia Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. ... You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. Also, 1 and 1 might be odd, but you are adding them together to get 2, which is even. So, what did you do then, lassie? Press. You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck at the time there, laddie. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child, a wee lass, a wee bairn? I dunna know. I had no idea. I was scared out of me wits. Aye, believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled me robes. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Aye, it sounds like poor Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? I'm pretty sure what I need to do is actually press on my last hope, but I'm gonna wait and see here because I don't want to go through and progress the story at all. Maya's really emotionally and physically exhausted. I shouldn't go overboard. For the time being, I'll just play it by ear. Alright then, witness. Go on with your testimony there. Aye, understood. You don't mean, was it... I don't know it at the time, but... I think it was probably blood. she's saying that's when Ms. Dunim was channeling Dahlia, who stabbed in the back by the killer. Aye, at that moment I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got in everything around me. Ed Press here. So what happened next? I didn't remember.
How were you saved? You don't even remember that?
Nay, I haven't the foggiest. I really didn't know what happened after all.
That's too bad.
I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Aye, so if memory serves, there was something extra to press on the "suddenly someone struck me over the head" statement.
Actually, you wanted on screaming, "Help me."
Well, I'm just thinking what there was to begin with. All of the possibilities, because I might want to press them all.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot there was one in that one as well.
Aye. No compassion from me. Ah, well, I didn't see who it was. Was it from behind? Aye, well, we said this all before. Didn't remember. Cannot remember. I'ma now press her harder. Come on, Maya. This isn't making any sense. Why didn't you see this person? Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was dark. That's it. It was dark. It's not good having too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was earlier testimony to that effect as well there, laddie. So it was dark in the garden on the night of the crime. Which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the attacker was most likely... Aye, the spirit that was channeled by Misty Fey, Dahlia Hawthorne. Then please continue with the testimony. Now we'll press again on the scream statement. You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a lad, a lass, an adult, a wee bairn? I had no idea. I was scared out of me wits. Aye, believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. This person might attack me, so anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Now, I believe that I'm supposed to press on my last hope, but I shall see. What did she scream? So you're certain that you screamed, "Help me"? I think so. Aye, now that I think about it, that's got to be what I screamed.
Is it all that strange, Trite, for her to have screamed, "Help me"?
Aye, if no one else was there, it would have been odd. Nay, but something about that bugs me. Why would you face someone that's trying to kill you? And go through the trouble of screaming for help? Alright, witness, go on with your testimony. Oh, aye. Aye, now we'll press on the appropriate thing here. So we'll go through this for a third time. And I think that's enough time with the Scottish accent.
Ah,
You do have another little goblin knows best up your sleeve.
I do. I'm trying to save it for a take that later. We may or may not get to it.
Alright, well, those do get banked between episodes, so... Let's press her for more on My Last Hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this My Last Hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said My Last Hope. Huh? What? I said what? ... Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see, and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me!" Yeah? But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like... What do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker. That's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
A ton of pressure.
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber.
Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I could see a man behind the attacker. Behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Alright, so this is where we're going to have to show the lantern itself, which, if memory serves, could not be lit something, the wick was shit. I mean, Maya might be partially lucky that Godo banned Mia from the court, but I also think that Mia telling Maya... I don't think... Well, no, Maya had absolutely no fucking clue who Godo was. Now I'm sure, since she's covering for him, she knows who he is. Also, again, Pokey Delta, while the autopsy report does say that, we technically don't know what really happened in the scuffle between Maya and Misty Fey, or Maya and Dahlia Hawthorne, who is summoned by or being possessing Misty Fey. And again, what I said earlier about the Shito being stabbed through the back and affecting what the stab wound looked like is also theoretically possible. But I'm going to press on this. Hold it. A man. Who was this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. You couldn't see? She's used that excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. ... Hey! You know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Alright. Present the stone lantern itself was not lit the night of the crime. Present.
Objection!
So, there was a man standing behind her attacker. Yeah? That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dunin, otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother. The killer... Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya... Well, again, this is according to Maya's testimony, yes. But if Maya had been the one, and again, I'm not accusing her of actually murder, but like, let's go with the theory that Maya, because again, Maya was written upside down on the stone lantern, but regardless, like, if Maya had been the one who actually killed Misty Fey, she could be lying in her testimony, and we know she's lying in her testimony, as we see here. Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Order in the court. Mr. Godo, explain this. Oh, here we go again. Boy, is he blowing past that 17 cup.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir.
I thought you didn't
That
like
is the
milk in your coffee.
That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait.
Cafe au lait? Is that even legal?
Mr. Trite's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor.
I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony Bart, I'll have you know.
You
I've
must
heard
have
the
noticed
expression spoony bard before. Is this where it comes from?
No, it originates from the original English translation of Final Fantasy IV, back in the days when it was localized as Final Fantasy II.
When did that come out?
Oh, back in the 90s, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so this isn't a 2000s reference, but it's a that era reference.
Yeah, 91.
Jesus Christ. That's the year I was born, I think. I don't remember this. Anyway, carry on.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Objection. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick. May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah! In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. Question. Is Godo's face visor glow in the dark?
Perhaps.
I don't think we've established. It wouldn't surprise me if it is. But I've kind of been thinking about it like Geordie LaForge's visor, which is not glow in the dark. Right? I was thinking that that's kind of like a the red glass-ish material, or something like an alternate polymer as opposed to something like polycarbonate that they use in most glasses lenses these days. But if it's glow in the dark, that could explain it. And Pokey Delta, you're right, we could kill the light in the courtroom and find out. But yeah, no, that is a big question of why we put her on the stand if she's not mentally fit. Technically, we could have at least waited a day, because trials can last up to 3 days. So I'm not sure why we didn't, but whatever. No! Order. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Ms. Fey saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection! Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing?
I
How
proposed
could
to my
she
wife.
have seen in the... How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the time.
Objection! There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godo. Like cat's eyes glowing ridiculously. Uh-oh, did I lose LG?
No, I just missed that I had a ... exclamation point there.
Fair enough, it's easy to miss. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this, but since my left hand is still in some kind of... Well, it's the soft restraint, but it is the restraint. I can't draw shit, and even if my left hand wasn't in any kind of restraint or support, I just can't draw, period, because I suck at art. You know who this man is. It's your father. Darth Vader? ... Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Huh. You talk a good game, Trite. But let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff!
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Ms. Fey saw in the darkness? I'm going for it. I'm gonna say it's Godo, and I think his visor might be glow in the dark. Again, I've just been thinking of it as like a red glass or red polycarbonate-like material, which would not glow in the dark. But I could see them pulling this shit now. Also, I know Godo was there, so... Because it was pitch black, Ms. Fey was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible. Yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. Dot, dot, dot. What? This is... But it can't be.
Huh. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right.
Well... I mean, he was the only man that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That is also true. We know Butts was there. We know Phoenix was there. We know even goddammit Edgeworth was there.
This has actually been shown at one point before in the game. The courtroom went dark for whatever reason, and Godot's visor was illuminating.
Which case was that?
Cannot fucking remember for the life of me.
So then how do you remember that it happened?
Because I distinctly remember the visual.
Recipe for a turn. Was it, Did Sergio Tigre's roar just, like, break all the fucking light bulbs? Because I honestly don't remember this. But this does look pretty cool. But yeah, no, again, if we go to the court record, we go to profiles, Gumshoe was on the Hazakura Temple side day after. Butts was also. As was Kilometers, as was me. Jesus Christ, there are a lot of women involved in this case. So yeah, he is the only man that was not seen on the Hazakura Temple side the following day. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Lights came back on a few seconds later. Goto's mask glowed less then versus now, though. So it's possible I'm just not remembering it, because Recipe was a while ago, and a fuck ton has happened since then. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Goto, what is the meaning of this? ... Oops. That's another one. Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Huh. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you've got a problem, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night, was it 3 glowing red lights? ... Okay, but Poké Delta, Franziska might end up being a Fey member
At the rate we are going.
at some point after this case is done. Although, actually, you know what? I half think she'd be so I think Maya kind of wants to give up the Fey name, but I also kind of... Well, first of all, I don't think Maya would want to take Von Karma as a name after the shit Manfred put her through. But I also think Franziska is a lot more willing, or would be a lot more willing, to give up her last name than you might think. Because I'm not saying that she's trying to distance herself from... But, like, she's trying to create an identity out of her father's shadow. I don't know, maybe they just squish their names together or make an anagram of Fey and Von Karma and get something new out of that and use that as a joint last name. Because I feel like both of them kind of want to get rid of their names. I'd see Franziska being more willing to take the last name Fey than I see Maya being willing to take the last name Von Karma. But, like, given how Franziska was willing to forego bitch-slapping the hell out of Phoenix Wright in court, which we know was her whole motivation in Game 2, just to make sure, because at the time we presumed Maya was in the Sacred Cavern. I'm pretty fucking sure Fran Maya is a thing. Like, I'm almost positive. Anyway, well, witness, answer the question. ... You're wrong. I never saw that. But Maya... I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
Objection!
Sorry, I missed all of that because I was looking at the comments. But yeah, legends are a thing of the past. I'm a Von Karma, that is all. Maybe, maybe not. Like, that might be a quote from her, but she is saying legends are a thing of the past, aka her father is a thing of the past. She was proud of the name Von Karma, but again, a lot of that is associated with her dad. Also, she herself is the one who said that if you have a loss on your record, you can technically no longer be considered a Von Karma. Anyway, like I said, I missed all of those lines. I think Phoenix made an objection, then the judge made a comment, and...
Yeah, the judge was all like, "Whoa, Mr. Wright, what the fuck is going on?" And Godot's like, "Objection! Stop your chattering, Your Honor."
Chattering? Oh, here we
Which
go
worked.
again. He slowed down for a bit, now he's just going right back into it. Caffeine withdrawal really
Okay,
did
this
get
is
to
going.
him.
This is going for a while more. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yep.
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. ...
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. I'm actually thinking we should stop here.
You reckon?
I assume we're about to begin Maya's second testimony. And I know I'm not going to be able to get through the cross-examination before my time is
Quite
up.
possibly.
Plus, my throat's still... I think the wind blew in some shit from Canada because my throat's been killing me today. So
Bad enough.
well, first of all, let me not forget to save here. And I think I will save here. And we'll call it a day. I know I'm not usually one to enter, but the other thing is, if there's only like 4 testimonies total in this section of it, I don't want next week's stream to be too short. So yeah. It'll end up probably being closer to, say, 2.5 streams than a full 3, but I'm sure me being me, I can take 3 testimonies and the conclusion and make it last for as long as I fucking need to, plus give my thoughts about the Ace Attorney trilogy as a whole. So that's definitively something to look forward to next Monday as I conclude Ace Attorney 3. But in the meantime, if you only caught part of tonight's stream, you can catch the whole thing over on my YouTube channel. I do apologize, there were a couple of breaks this time. One was towards the very beginning when I was under the...
It was very understandable, to be honest.
Yeah. Like I said, it was just bad timing where I think lightning and thunder struck very close to my house, and I didn't hear it, but the sump pump must have activated right around the same time because the lights flickered. And then I had to go calm some cats down. And then my throat was bothering me, so I had to go grab... I actually should have grabbed a few lozenges, but oh well. Anyway, if you were watching this on YouTube and you want to watch me on Twitch live, you can catch me on Twitch over there. Go live Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Monday evenings, at least for next week, will be Ace Attorney 3. After that, it'll be Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then we're on to the Appalling Justice trilogy.
Yeah, you've got your title picked out already.
To be fair, it works. And is an apt description of everything that happens in this game. What else? Wednesday evenings are Shadows Over Loathing. LG, I meant to ask, how far have you gotten so far? Actually, don't answer that. Answer that off stream. You may have gotten past where I am.
You said that you have chosen your classes at SIT. I am barely past that.
Okay, so you haven't actually gotten past that, because I made it through the whole SIT arc and on to the next one.
Yeah, not quite. I haven't done quite so much as I did that first few days.
Fair enough. Shit happened. Anyway, Shadows Over Loathing, excellent game. So good that LG decided to, from watching the first couple of streams, that he wanted to play it himself. I do highly recommend it. It's not that expensive. So
it really isn't.
It's on Switch, and I think it's also on Steam.
It is. That's where I'm playing it.
Yeah, the controls and the inventory are probably better on the computer than on my Switch, I would wager.
Honestly, I would not say that the inventory is better at all. The inventory kind of sucks ass.
Okay, because I know for a fact for West of Loathing, the inventory was better on the PC version. Regardless, yeah, Shadows Over Loathing, excellent game. Stream that Wednesday nights. You should join me. Otherwise, you can also join me on the Bulba Garden Twitch channel, where I have been a lot more pleasant the past couple of weeks because I've been streaming Pokemon Crystal and will continue to do so. I do have another series planned out for after Crystal, but Crystal's going to take a little while, so I won't reveal what that's going to be just yet. But it is a long overdue one. I will give it that. You can also catch other excellent streamers over on the Bulba Garden Twitch channel, although at this moment it no longer includes Dapper Cody. Wednesday evenings, at least for a bit, on the Bulba Garden channel are going to be free, so no more Bulba stream Bulba stream conflicting with my Wednesday night stream, as Dapper Cody finished his Detective Pikachu Returns and is going back to school, so he's got to figure out a new time that will work for him or a new schedule that will work for him. But you can also find, or you can find Caps Fan streaming on that channel or on his own channel, which is over there. And then Dawning, who was cat sitting tonight and has an early doctor's appointment tomorrow, is also usually on the Bulba Garden channel and sometimes on her own channel over there. I know she hasn't been on either consistently for a while, but hopefully she'll be going back to streaming regularly and back here on this channel somewhat regularly in the near future. That's going to do it for me for today. So as always, I am Maniacal Engineer, and I'm never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Thank you all for watching. Please tune in for the conclusion of the Ace Attorney trilogy, the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, next Monday evening. And God bless this mess.
Good night, everybody.